Hey there, geography fans! Ever heard of a little place called the Solomon Islands? No, it's not where King Solomon stashed his legendary bling. Tucked away in the South Pacific, this island nation is a melting pot of vibrant cultures, lush landscapes, and enough World War II history to make a history buff spontaneously combust. Picture this: over 900 islands sprinkled across the ocean like someone sneezed out a mouthful of jade jewels. We're talking swaying palm trees, beaches straight out of a Corona ad, and water so blue it'd make a Smurf jealous. But don't pack your bags just yet. We've got sharks to discuss, and trust me, these aren't the cuddly baby shark kind. But hey, danger adds spice to life, right? Besides, the Solomon Islands are so much more than just potential shark bait. They've got a past that's as rich and complex as a triple-shot macchiato made with extra history. And maybe a splash of seawater for good measure. Buckle up, amigos, because we're about to dive headfirst into the wild, wonderful, and occasionally weird world of the Solomon Islands. Okay, so before Captain Cook rocked up with his fancy ships and even fancier hats, the Solomon Islands were already buzzing with activity. For starters, people had been chilling here for what scientists estimate to be around 30,000 years. Talk about knowing how to pick prime real estate. These early inhabitants, the Papuan people, weren't just sunbathing and perfecting their tan lines though. These resourceful folks were masters of their environment. We're talking skilled navigators who could chart the stars better than a GPS, and fishermen who could probably snag a tuna with a toothpick if they felt like it. They built villages, crafted tools, and even had their own intricate social structures and belief systems. Basically, they were living their best lives way before Instagram made it cool, but like any good story, there's a plot twist. Around 4,000 years ago, a new wave of explorers arrived on the scene, the Lapita people. These intrepid seafarers, rocking some serious outrigger canoe game, had journeyed all the way from Southeast Asia. They brought with them their own unique culture, language, and mad agricultural skills. And you know what they say, the more, the merrier. Especially when it comes to cultural exchange and, not getting eaten by sharks. Which brings us to... Fast forward a few centuries, and who should show up but those adventurous Europeans, always eager to make new friends, and claim new lands, but who's keeping track? First on the scene was Spanish explorer Alvaro de Mendana de Nera, in 1568. Now, Alvaro was convinced he'd stumbled upon the legendary mines of King Solomon. Talk about wishful thinking. Spoiler alert, he didn't find any gold, but he did give the islands their catchy name, so at least he got a participation trophy out of it. Over the next couple of centuries, more European explorers popped by, like curious neighbors dropping in unannounced. There was the ever-so-slightly lost French explorer, Louis-Antoine de Bougainville, who clearly missed the memo about personal space. And let's not forget the British, who were always down for a spot of tea and, oh yeah, expanding their empire. This influx of pale-skinned visitors wasn't exactly a picnic for the Solomon Islanders. Sure, they got introduced to some cool new stuff like smallpox, yikes. But they also got a crash course in colonialism, which was about as fun as a root canal without anesthesia. Think forced labor, land grabs, and a whole lot of cultural misunderstandings that probably could have been avoided with a good translator, and maybe a chill pill or two. But hey, at least they got hats. Section 4, World War II. The Solomon Islands get caught in the crossfire, and somehow, surfing prevails. Things were already pretty tense in the Solomon Islands, what with the whole colonialism thing going on. But then, World War II decided to crash the party like that one friend who always shows up uninvited and drinks all your beer. Suddenly, this tropical paradise was smack dab in the middle of one of history's biggest conflicts. You see, the Japanese military, in their quest for, well, everything, decided the Solomon Islands would make a dandy strategic outpost. The Americans, however, had other plans. Cue epic battles on land, at sea, and in the air. We're talking Guadalcanal, we're talking Iron Bottom Sound. We're talking enough historical drama to make a Hollywood screenwriter weep with joy, and possibly writer's block. The Solomon Islands became a pivotal battleground, and the fighting was about as fierce as a mama bear protecting her cubs. If Mama Bear was packing some serious firepower. But amidst the chaos and carnage, a glimmer of hope emerged. You see, American soldiers stationed on the islands discovered a little something we like to call surfing. Inspired by the locals who'd been riding waves for centuries, these intrepid GIs traded in their rifles for boards and found solace in the ocean's embrace. Talk about turning lemons into lemonade, or should we say grenades into gnarly waves? And thus, the Solomon Islands' love affair with surfing was born. Section 5. Freedom Time, with a few post-colonial hiccups, naturally. After the dust settled from World War II, the world went through a bit of a, whoa, that was intense, maybe we should chill out phase. The Solomon Islands, battered but not broken, decided it was high time to ditch the whole colonialism thing and strike out on their own. And so, in 1978, they finally gained their independence from Britain. Cue the fireworks, the celebrations, and the collective sigh of relief that echoed across the archipelago. But independence, like a new puppy, comes with its own set of challenges. Building a new nation from scratch is no walk in the park, especially when you've got limited resources, a history of external influence, and the occasional political hiccup. There have been moments of instability, ethnic tensions, and the ever-present struggle to balance economic development with environmental sustainability. Despite these hurdles, the Solomon Islands have made remarkable progress. They've established a democratic government, built up their infrastructure, slowly but surely, and are working towards a brighter future for all their citizens. It's not always easy, and there are still bumps in the road, but they're tackling these challenges with resilience, a healthy dose of humor, and a whole lot of that famous island spirit. Plus, it's hard to be too stressed when you're surrounded by pristine beaches and can go for a surf whenever you want. Section 6. Panpipes and shell money, a cultural kaleidoscope. No, you can't pay taxes with seashells, yet. Now let's talk about the good stuff, the culture. The Solomon Islands are a melting pot of traditions, languages, and customs. Remember those Papuan and Lapita folks we talked about? Well, their legacy lives on in the island's vibrant cultural tapestry. We're talking intricate carvings, mesmerizing dances, and music that'll make you want to ditch your Spotify playlist and learn to play the panpipes. And then there's the shell money. No, seriously, these guys use shells as currency. We're not talking about your average seashells you find on the beach, though. These are special shells, strung together in elaborate chains, and they were a hot commodity back in the day. Sadly, you can't use them at the local grocery store anymore, we checked. But they're still a cherished part of the island's cultural heritage. Family and community are paramount in Solomon Islands culture. Life revolves around the village, respect for elders is deeply ingrained, and everyone chips in to help each other out. It's a refreshing change from the individualism often found in other parts of the world. Plus, who wouldn't want to live in a place where everyone's basically family and there's always someone to share a laugh and maybe a freshly caught fish with? Section 7. The Solomon Islands today, paradise found, just don't mention the mosquitoes. So, where do the Solomon Islands stand today? Well, they're still figuring things out just like the rest of us. But one thing's for sure, this island nation is on the rise. Tourism is booming. Who can resist those beaches? They're slowly but surely diversifying their economy, and they're becoming a key player in the Pacific region. The Solomon Islands are a land of contrasts. Ancient traditions meet modern challenges. Breathtaking beauty exists alongside pressing environmental concerns. But through it all, the people of the Solomon Islands remain resilient, resourceful, and always up for a good time. They're a reminder that paradise isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. Just remember to pack the bug spray because those mosquitoes are no joke.